Other interesting cultural news, you have United Methodist Churches losing 1 million members over their LGBTQ policy. This is brought to us first thanks to Blaze Media, in which, here, little pop-ups, always fun. They say, quote, United Methodist Church loses more than 1 million members in a single day when a group stands for God and His Word. This is written to us thanks to Chris and Lowe. And they say, quote, in one swoop last week, the United Methodist Church lost more than 1 million members. Weeks after the United Methodist Church voted to allow LGBT practicing clergy and reverse prohibitions on same-sex marriage. The United Methodist Church of Ivory Coast voted on May 28 to leave UMC. They say, quote, this is not an emotional issue, but rather a matter of unchangeable truth. Homosexuality is clearly a sin. The West African Methodists made the decision to leave the UMC for reasons of conscience before God and His Word, the supreme authority in matters of faith and life. The decisions of the UMC to embrace LGBT culture and same-sex marriages deviates from Holy Scriptures, according to EMUCI. The UMC Church is therefore, quote, sacrificing its honor and integrity to honor the LGBTQ community. In a statement, Bishop Benjamin Bonney said, the UMC is, quote, is now based on socio-cultural and contextual values, which have consumed in doctrinal and disciplinary integrity. This is a significant development because it means that UMC is losing more than 1 million members. Even more important is the fact that Methodism of the conservative traditional variety is growing on the Ivory Coast. The UMC in the U.S., on the other hand, has seen years of decline, especially as a denomination began embracing liberalism. Now they say that, going down more and more, apologies. They also say that the Korean Methodist Church, which boasts approximately 1.5 million members, could soon be on the way out as well. So we see more and more churches, it's become extremely popular in the religious community to adopt the LGBTQ initiatives and accept that sort of behavior, those choices. And again, most people have never read the Bible, including a lot of people who go to church. But if you do actually, brush up on the pages, it is against God. So a lot of those religious institutions, many of them kept going into the LGBT because, again, a lot of them are very much worried about their membership declining radically. Overall, the church membership is declining and dropping like a bad stock. It's less and less. So the churches are wondering, how can we get more members? And a lot of these churches thought a possible way to fix this membership issue is to increase the sample size, try to get more prospective, I was about to say clients, thinking in business terms, but they're trying to get more patrons, they're trying to get more people to their herd. I forget the sheep or the herd metaphor, but nevertheless, they're trying to get, or their flock, nevertheless. But so a lot of them, and again, there's also cultural, political pressures on them. So a lot of churches started to accept those into the church. And again, most churches are very accepting of everyone's choices, their life, but a lot of people draw the line at, what is marriage? Which, again, if you wind back the clock a couple years, Barack Obama, even Biden, they were firmly against gay marriage. Like very recently, they, coincidentally changed their policy or their stance to one that's much more popular these days in the United States. But a lot of the, true people who are hardcore religious folks and people that read the text and more traditional, they're saying they don't agree with that. It's, it's, again, I'll say it's in the book. It literally says they can't do that. So one might say, why don't they invent a new religion for the other folks? But nevertheless, they thought, this might be a good way to increase our sample size. But very similar to other businesses where they think, well, like Bud Light, well, we're not getting a lot of traction. We're losing sales from conservative folks. What if we try to expand the customers to get the trans folks community? Now, they shot themselves in the foot terribly at Bud Light. They spent $185,000 hired Dylan Mulvaney for a couple of photos and like an endorsement video, and they lost subsequently $1.4 billion in sales, which is the greatest negative ROI in history, bar none, now that I think about it. But again, they tried to increase their audience. In that case, they tried to increase their sample size, prospective, buyers, and it backfired terribly, and it fell flat on its face. Now, in this case, I think a lot of churches are starting to see the very, very similar trends. Because again, the more traditional folks of these churches, they're starting to see this in their places of worship, and they don't agree with it philosophically, religiously, so they just stop going. So while the overall numbers in some areas and instances is increasing in church on average, I wonder if this will be good for the church long term Or would it just dilute, or as a business might say, dilute the brand? Is it trying to, are they trying to grow too quick by accepting this? And again, this policy's against what a lot of people would argue is against what they stand for. Do you think this is, again, it's a huge cultural topic. Do you think this is a good thing for the churches? Could this be the way they turn around their declining memberships? Or could it be the final nail in the coffin? How might this affect them in the future? If we have a good, this is a perfect use case where they quite literally lost 1 million folks. Could this be a ripple effect that causes more churches to actually push back? Because again, this has been happening for decades with more and more churches. It's not just the UMC. But as always, let me know in the comments. I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, giving me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.